Welcome back to Navajo Tea Time. Adrienne here with Christine De Angelis and Ahsaki, Chachere, and Kelsey Lee. Today we are talking about entrepreneurship, and we have a few hot tea questions that we are going to hurdle your way. Just kidding. So, entrepreneurship is defined as the activity of setting up a business or businesses, taking on financial risk in the hope of profit. So, first question, using that definition that I just shared, do you feel that you took financial risk in the hopes of profit in starting your business? Christine?
No, I didn't. I had a security blanket, which is a good thing, I guess. After beauty school, I decided that I went to a salon, and then I realized I really need to do this on my own. I made that decision pretty early on.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took classes in Los Angeles, came back, and I decided that I'm going to start things in my kitchen, which I did, and got a lot of people involved. It was a lot of fun in the early days. It really was, building it. But I didn't have the stress of having to create a business because I was trying to create profit at that time. I just wanted to get really good at it. I wanted to understand how to do a business, and I had a lot of people help me set up my business in the beginning. I had a lot of business owners that I knew in Flagstaff that helped me, discuss business. And I have a rule for myself in general, which is that I don't take advice from people who aren't successful at what they're talking about. So if they aren't successful in their own business, I tend to just nod and smile a lot. And I would think about what they were trying to help me with, but really in reality, if they weren't successful at what they were talking about, it really didn't weigh a lot for me. I tend to take people who are serious about business if they're successful in it. So yeah, just starting from that position, I was really able to enjoy the education. I was really able to enjoy the process of creating a business. It kind of was like Monopoly for me. Mm-hmm. And every success made me feel so happy and so good. And it just grew from that.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. How about you, Ahsaki?
Oh man, I mean, I'm tackling one of the scariest and the biggest giants in the industry, the beauty industry. It's a multi-trillion-dollar industry, and being able to, make a mark in it was extremely hard. The risk is a lot of risk because this brand can either make it or not make it, and all the money that was spent in product development and the patenting and the trademarking and all the legal that goes into it, and when you finally launched, it's like, okay, this better go, kind of, sort of, so yes, there is a lot because you're working with so many different people, and you're trying to protect this idea that you're trying to do, and you have like awesome formulas that you're also trying to protect, and it's just a lot that happens while building this business. So luckily I've been, blanketed by so many awesome attorneys to protect the vision and the idea of this business model that I've created, but also knowing that, any business is risky, that's just life. You're literally going out there to truly, provide a product and a service in an industry that's very competitive once more, and you're up against the Estee Lauders, you're up against MAC, you're up against, Bobbi Brown, you're up against everybody. And you're just like this little native brand, like, hey guys, I'm gonna tear up all of this. Watch out. But tons of risk indeed, but I feel like if you're not ready to take it, accept it, then don't do it. If you're too scared to do it. Because you have to go into this industry, any industry, fearless. And if you have 1 ounce of fear, you're gonna crumble. 1 ounce of doubt, you're done. Literally, self-doubt is real. So, and that risk everything that you built. So I know it's human to doubt and everything else, but don't do too much of it. Or else you're just gonna just ruin everything that you built. Yeah.
I always tell people that fear is just an emotion. It's just like laughing, just like experiencing joy. It doesn't define you, and you shouldn't let it define you. You should just say, yeah, I'm feeling a little fearful right now, but you know what? I'm going to keep bulldozing forward.
Definitely. You need a podcast.
Girl, we need a podcast. We need a podcast.
I don't think we have time to do a podcast. I'll be calling in and I'll be like,
Laura started another business today.
I know. I'll be like, oh, what did you say about fear? Okay, it's a feeling. All right. Feeling, go away.
So like, what do you think about like the language of financial risk and hope of a profit? Like, because I feel like with defining entrepreneurship as that, I feel like a lot of different like for me and other entrepreneurs, I don't feel like they started their business in hope of a profit.
Yeah.
I feel like it was more like, no, there was something missing in the community, or I felt really strongly or passionately about this thing I do, and I can turn it into a service or a product. It was never like, oh, I hope I make money off of this. It's like, this is what I want to do, so I'm going to make it work.
Okay. I like that. Okay. For me, I felt that, I'm always like big on indigenizing everything, I think. How I indigenize, this industry. How do I indigenize, just, capitalism? You're like, how do you do that? I don't know. But for me, we need money to do anything. We need money to run our businesses. We need money just within our reservation. So for me, my hope was to create a strong, successful business that's not just that my people will benefit from. And that was always been the main force behind it. Yes, we have dished in a lot of money, because anybody who started a beauty brand from scratch, you already know what that dollar sign looked like. It's not pretty. It's a few houses in some country land on top of that. But it's a lot. And the language of it all, you have to put in money to make money. And, if you're not in that situation of just being able to put money in, save. Save, because you cannot run a business with a few dollars. Like, you don't know what's gonna happen. You have, tons of things like a brick and mortar. You can have a water breakage, you can have a break-in, you have all these different things that you are fearful of. That, I don't know that. So it's just one of those things, like, you have to have a nest egg just for your business to operate and just to be mindful of that. Like, there's, tons of risk. A lot of money. Yeah.
Can you ask me the question again? Or were you going to go to her?
Sorry. I was just asking, like, how do you feel about, like, the language of, like, entrepreneurs being defined as taking a financial risk in hope of a profit? Of, like, that's one of the defining things of an entrepreneur. Because, like, when you hear Change Labs or, like, other people, we bring up Change Labs a lot. So, it's a really major incubator of the businesses in the area for our economy. It's kind of like the only one we have to reference for the reservation, actually.
Are you saying that it's like a bad thing?
No, I'm saying, like, the language in the definition of, like, taking on financial risk in hope of a profit, and that's the definition of an entrepreneur.
Oh, okay.
And I feel like all the other people who would think of themselves as an entrepreneur or starting their own business, they don't talk like that. Like, that wasn't their hope of when they started their company or their businesses. It wasn't in hope of a profit. It's, they need to make a profit to make a business run and be financially stable and to go. That's just something that goes along with creating a business, but their hope was, like, filling a need in their community or being able to continue their passion, or, like, the profit wasn't the number
beyond
one
making
thing.
money.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying now. I was confused.
A lot of the people I talk to who create a business, the top of their list wasn't profit. It was, like, passion or a need of the community or something like that.
I think mine is opposite.
Yeah, no, actually, there are two. You're talking about social entrepreneurs, people that want to make an impact within their community or socially, right? They want to make some, they want to be the catalyst for some sort of change. And then there's other entrepreneurs where the main goal every single day is profit because you want your business to thrive, right?
Yeah, like I think mine was profit actually, you know. I don't know if that's a bad thing.
I'm not saying it's a bad. I'm just saying there's no good or
It's
bad.
necessary.
You obviously need to make money to pay the bills.
Girl,
to pay
I knew I could
yourself.
do it. That's why.
I was hoping I knew.
I was also like for hope. I was like I didn't hope my
Lightning
business
bolt
would
hit
be
me and
good.
I
Like,
knew.
It's like I'm gonna make this business profitable.
Yeah.
I'm not hoping it's profitable.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah.
For me, like I don't like doing things halfway. Like I like having a nice laid out plan and everything. And I'm like, I hope this works. Like no, according to all the statistics and all these things, it's gonna work. And that's how I approach a lot of different things. So like, just like the hope of profit, just it rubbed me the wrong way when I first read it, and I just wanted to get everyone else's opinion or ideas on that too.
Yeah, and there are, multiple definitions for entrepreneurship. That's the one we chose because we thought that it would, spark this conversation, which we think is valuable and important. So the hot tea part of this conversation though is do you think the Navajo and Hopi nations have honored the risk you've taken to start your business or to run your business?
Not the government itself,
Mm-hmm.
no. But I've never reached out for help in that way.
Mm-hmm.
I've just done it from, grown it from a small perspective into something very big
Mm-hmm.
on my own. And if I had at some point needed that support, I would have tried to reach out,
Mhm.
but I haven't.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. I
Mhm.
think, that money is probably better served and for somebody else
Mm-hmm.
instead of me.
Okay.
Mhm.
How about you, Ahsaki? Do you feel like it's been honored?
So for me, I think I can speak for a lot of Navajo businesses, that, our government is slowly understanding the work and the impact that our businesses hold and can do on our reservation.
Mm-hmm.
We had the campaign of Buy Navajo, Buy Local,
Mm-hmm.
and I was in Winter Rock. And, due to the pandemic, it was kind of hard, but there's other ways to support your Navajo business owners. It could just be liking their social media posts, following them, sharing it. These are things that you don't need to buy. It's just, just showing that initiative support. Like, I see what you're doing, you're doing a great job, yeah, go and keep going. That's really it, For me, that was the biggest thing, was true support, because Navajo businesses, we are truly leaders in the economic world, and it was funny when I received the Native Woman Businesswoman of the Year at Res, when I walked off the stage, I actually, the first person that congratulated me was our new elected president. And our VP was there. He was nowhere to be found. Passed up my booth. But a little bit later down the road, me and the VP, former VP, we became best friends. But it's just different understanding and, and knowing that time and place as well. But know that, our leadership, we just gotta hold a little more accountable, because they are leading our people. So it's like, can you just lead the people to the businesses? Just shout them out once in a while. And that's what I really admired in our last administration, was our vice president. And his family store was right next to mine. And, he really, after, we had our conversation, and he became such a big fan. And, just creating that partnership relationship where two business owners can see each other eye to eye, and just being able, especially our Natanis out there, just, be mindful of your fellow tribal members who are truly going out their way and beyond with the limited resources we have to build a business on Navajo. So if it's just, a daily, weekly, there's hundreds of us. There's hundreds of thousands of Navajo businesses. And, you know, we just a little extra support. Buy, definitely. But if you guys can, if they could just be more supportive, like a post, you know, like our podcast, share it. But no, it's just really big on support. But thank God we have Change Labs. Shout out Change Labs once more. I'm not endorsed. But no, it's just because I just see the true support behind it. It's very from the heart. So that's something that's really hard to find, especially on Navajo, because, you know, it's like we're in a crab in a barrel society. So it's just like you do good and people just don't want you to do good. And you're constantly fighting those feelings too. So just being supportive, that's all. That don't cost nothing at all. Our services do, but our product do, but support is free.
I think you're being really diplomatic. I don't think that they support small businesses like they should. You know what I mean? There are many, many ways to support small businesses that the Navajo Nation could enact. You know what I mean? There's legislation that can be written and passed. There can be affordable space made available. There can be co-work stations set up. There can be discounts for advertising in some of our publications, and you know, we could set up our own media services and provide that to our small businesses. There are so many ways. There's trainings that can be held. You know what I mean? There's so much that we can do. And the thing about like the Navajo Nation specifically is we were able to get the attention of the world in the past couple years. And we have the ability to promote at a global scale. But are they doing that? No, and they haven't done that. And it's just, I feel like there's so much that can be done, and I think there's so much that we have to push for. And I think if they could take the time not to just give us lip service, but to really put some actionable steps, you know, behind supporting entrepreneurs and small business development. I mean, there are ways that we can really boost our economy. You know, I mean, we live in a very beautiful, unique location in the world where we have a lot of access to people coming through to view our monuments, to view the Grand Canyon, to view us as a people. But how are we growing that? You know what I mean? How are we tapping into those bigger economies where we can make some really good money on our own terms? So I think you're being really diplomatic. I'm just gonna be like, no, like, there's so much
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I wasn't even aware of what you're talking about until just now.
Really?
No, I had no clue.
Yeah.
Maybe because I live off the reservation and I'm so focused on other things, I've never heard that. I didn't realize it was that difficult.
It is so difficult. I mean, you can launch a business off the res in a matter of weeks.
Hours. You could
Yeah.
you could file for a business license in hours. That's what we did with Happy Accidents.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like have the imposter syndrome of like all I did was send in the $30 fee and get my EIN, and I'm like, it's so simple. You're not
But
gonna
you could
question
set up
me?
shop. You could set up shop and have a brick and mortar in weeks, and you can't do that on Navajo. Many businesses, if they want to open up space and it's not already available to them, many businesses have to like get that land plowed and prepped and surveyed. They have to like run their own power lines, water lines. They have to deal with waste management. They have to even pave roads. It is
unfortunate.
It's like a multi-million-dollar project that a lot of people don't have. And so people do experience certain kinds of luxuries to live off. It is easier to start a business. There are great challenges that exist. But, you know, I know that the Navajo and Hopi Nations can do a lot better. They can do more. And I would like to encourage them to do so.
Right.
You know, we have a new director of economic development that just took a seat, you know, within the new administration. And I really would like to see him do more, because I know he's well aware of all of these challenges. And the reason why I know is because when we started NABIN, he was the executive director of the Native America program at the time, under the same nonprofit. And so he knew what we were doing. He knew what our strategies were. And we've been always constantly encouraging not just people like him that are decision makers, but others to like pick up these methods, that we've they didn't just come out of nowhere. We did substantial research. You know what I mean? We really were in the trenches when it came to launching NABN and then Change Labs, and they work. We've seen so many businesses not just launch, but thrive over the years. So, yeah, so that's my little soapbox moment.
I'm gonna add just a tad bit. Okay, you warm me up. But I just want to say is that, what she said. But also, I feel like our government needs to truly, not just support, but recognize that our businesses are legit. Because I feel like when we say Navajo business and, sometimes leader-wise, they look at it like, are you guys legit? It's like always that feeling like we're not good enough. Like when will we ever be good enough to, help our people or meet the government halfway with our businesses, because that's how corporate America is. They meet our federal government halfway into providing tons of resources for the entire country. And there's tons of Navajo businesses. Yes, they may not be at that level to meet government halfway, but we can at least start that process and just to truly just, value our Navajo business owners, and commend them, because starting business ain't easy. We're sitting here, like, help us. Help us by just giving us a chance to, like, work with us, talk to us. I don't know how many surveys we've done. Like, they know what the problem is on Navajo. It's just like, okay, who is going to be bold enough to face and help us face those issues in legislation, face those issues and help change it. Like, there's no reason why our economy is red. There's no reason why our people is, have high level of unemployment rates, high level of poverty rates. Our people are hungry. Like, there should not be there. Like, we have all these businesses. We have all these people that could work. We have amazing, brilliant, educated professionals that come from our reservation that are wanting to come back, but we're just hit with a brick wall every single time. That go my son mentality they push on us when we were kids. Go climb the ladder, get to be the feather, come back, helping people lift people up to, the whole song, Like, we do it, and then we come back and we just got hit with the wall again, or we're getting tested and we're just being pushed back further and further away. So, I'm very hopeful for this administration that we have, with some amazing, strong women there, that could truly help that balance, and I'm just very hopeful. So I hope y'all watching. I'm here to help. I'm not a threat. But yeah, we can talk later.
and I like to challenge that how you say there's no reason why this shouldn't be happening. The truth is there's systemic reasons why.
That part.
And that's a big part. There's systemic suppression for this kind of growth, and there's reasons behind it that are, they're political, they're economical, they're social, they're cultural, and a lot of those things can be addressed, right? If we talk about how do we change the system, that's what needs to happen. Mm-hmm. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect something different. We need our current leadership who just stepped into power. You have 2 years to make a difference, because then you're going to be campaigning for the next 2. So you need to start moving like right now, and you got to change the system. And we believe you, and we're here to help. You know what I mean? Let us know how we can help, because like she said, there is a high population of people that are highly talented, highly skilled, intelligent, educated, and also motivated. Mm-hmm. That's the difference. You know what I mean? I think that's really exciting right now. That's what gets me up in the morning and excited to work, because I see how different things are now. Mm-hmm. I mean, look at us right now. The fact that we're all here in the room together, having accomplished what we've accomplished, and be at this caliber, and being able to not just support ourselves and our dreams, but also our families and those behind us. That is so important, and it's so big, and it's so hard, and yet it's possible. Mm-hmm. So I really want to challenge, our leadership right now. Like, come on, like, let's do this together. You're not alone in it, and we don't want to be alone in it either, right? Because now is time, and I really do think it's possible, because there are some major differences in our leadership right now. We have our first female vice president, which I think is meaningful. We have 9 women on Navajo Nation Council, and our first Speaker of the House was elected yesterday, and she's a woman also. So that's big. For the first time, we have a high percentage of representation at that level, which we've never had before. You know what I mean? So I really think that if we can start really seriously thinking and acting on collaboration, I think we can really make some big moves. So, okay, so that goes into our last question. So we talked about the challenges that exist. Yes, they're big, but I feel like we also need to talk about some solutions. And I want to ask you both, what solutions have you discovered when encountering some, big challenges in regard to business ownership?
Lawyer up. But also solution-wise is being able, I hate to say like be political in a way, but being able to talk to the future leaders and being able to make that wavelength, because for the only way change is going to happen is if you make your way to tell the story for change. Share your experience, good or bad, and being able to sit at the table with your leaders and, create change. And then that's the hardest part is change. Like, change is hard. Change can be painful. Change is going to be uncomfortable. And that's just anything in business, that growth, that uncomfortable gray area before you go to that next level is very uncomfortable. But it's the meaning of change, We have our 4, not up. We're always planning forward. We have to always think of the future forward. So I feel like we sitting here today is part of that change, because we're voicing what we need, what the solution is. We need to sit at this table. We need to have these conversations, not just another round table, not just another survey, and really figure out the nitty-gritty of writing new resolutions and legislation, really pushing it. We're gonna push a button. We really have to, and having to reevaluate some enterprises on Navajo.
Yeah. You mean Navajo Enterprises?
What's unique too? I mentioned, the council, the speaker, the VP, but we also, for the first time, we have a first lady who's also an Arizona State Senator.
That part.
That's never happened before. That's big.
It's huge.
You know what I mean? So I like what you said about sitting at the table and having that confidence. We've had all of these women not only have the courage to run an environment where we've never had that many women running for council before, and the people chose them, right? And they had the confidence to really enter the race. And so I think that's something I wanted to mention real quick, but then I want to ask you, Christine, what are some solutions that you've discovered in facing challenges as a business owner?
Just being true to myself. I feel like it's important that you ask yourself at night, like, am I being malice? Am I being mean to somebody today? Because if you were, you really should correct it. You cannot, people will see the truth anyway. So you might as well just correct yourself, because when you're in business, you actually need a whole team of people to help you through this process. So if you make a mistake, fess up and say, I made a mistake. Sorry, I was being hard on you the other day. I was really just trying to teach you something. But don't beat yourself up, but just correct yourself and try not to do it again. It's important that you hold your values high so that other people have respect for you. And my mother mainly taught me that it's important to treat people well. And my dad taught me through his business experiences that you need to treat people with respect. So I try really hard to do those things. But on the other hand, if somebody doesn't treat me with respect or treat my business with respect, I also make sure that I have enough confidence in myself to deal with that situation as well, and just keep moving forward and not dwell on that issue. Maybe think about it, but just not dwell on it and keep moving forward. It's important that you push yourself. I always feel like when I started this business that I really took it upon myself to just make me responsible for the business and growing it. I didn't bring my husband in. It was important to me not to bring him in to my business because I felt like I wanted to try to do something on my own. To be, I was starting to develop confidence from it, something that I had never experienced about before in my life. And I realized that this was completely new for me. And it's important to discover new things about you because things that you think you aren't going to be good at, you can surprise yourself and realize that you are really good at learning new things that you never thought you could ever possibly imagine. So that's why it's important to push yourself. Don't give up on yourself. Keep moving forward. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and move forward. But do it with kindness and character, and remember who you came from. It's important to know who you came from and be proud of that. We don't all have to have the same experiences to not feel encouragement with each other as well as feel bad about how our upbringing was. We're all adults now. We have the ability to take charge of our own lives and move forward. And it takes effort and courage to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. That's so candid. I appreciate that. Kelsey, how about you? I want to throw this ball over your way.
It's your turn.
About solutions and stuff.
Yeah, solutions that you've discovered in facing challenges as a business owner.
So for me with my business, in my business, the film industry and everything, it's always get it in writing and get a signature.
Yes.
So I kind of like, right now, most of like the work and challenges I'm facing is a lot with working within my community with a grant that I'm the chair of.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of pushback with some of the people in the chapter house and in the chapter office. They take a really long time to reply for things that need answers right away, or even with some of the organizations in the community that they said we have to work with you, they stopped responding to us. And so for me, I feel like the chapter office says, okay, you have to do these things. And for me, I end up being really petty, and so I am super attentive to everything that they said I have to do, because what they've done to us before is like, oh, well, you didn't finish this one step, so we have to deny your whole application. So now I'm like, okay, I'm going to do everything to the letter that you tell me to do. And so that's what I kind of get to with them, is that it's like I'm over, like I follow your instructions to the letter, and I always make sure, I'm like, so what exactly do you want from me? What exactly do you want us to do? And I try to get them to respond, because that's been some of the troubles, is like, we'll do one thing, and like, okay, well, now you have to do this other thing. It's like, okay, we get that one thing done. Well, now you have to do this other thing. I'm like, okay, we'll do that thing. And so for me, just like being super adherent to their rules, because they're trying to catch us cutting corners. And so that's one thing that I've done, is like, I'm following their rules, and they're the ones cutting corners on us, and trying to get it in writing and in emails, and always CCing people, like CCing their people who are above them, and CCing the other people in my organization who oversight a lot of the other things, just so there's multiple people seeing what's being said and responded to. It's just trying to work within your own community for something to benefit your community, and because someone doesn't like someone else, it's such a struggle. And so just being hyper, obedient to their rules, and making sure they tell you the exact instructions and getting that on paper is something that I find helps back me up when they do something wrong or when they accuse me of something. Because having all those emails and having her CC'd in all of those emails, knowing she got them or they were sent to her, helped me protect myself from being like in something deeper or troubling. Because then after that, she didn't even talk to me anymore. She's like, DOJ, how are we supposed to go about this? Because then she stopped communicating to me directly, because I pulled up all the receipts on her.
Yep, receipts are important.
Receipts.
And I think I just want to summarize real quick for the viewers. So we have keep receipts, be thorough, don't be afraid to protect yourself, right? Be authentic, be able to look yourself in the mirror so that you can sleep at night, make decisions that are good, be better every day, treat people well, and constantly improve. And then Ahsaki, you were talking about, I think it kind of comes down to like taking calculated risks, right?
Yes.
Taking calculated risks, having the confidence to proceed despite any kind of barriers that might come up. And in many ways, those are leadership skills, and that's something I wanted to comment on in answering the question about solutions. I think not being afraid to take on leadership roles. And when you do have that role, whether you're appointed or it's even by default sometimes, it's important to honor that, right? And do your job well the best you can and take it seriously. I think sometimes people get caught up with the idea of leadership. They confuse it with prestige. It's just about prestige, but no, it's about service. It's about guiding others forward. It's
a skill you have to learn, and you have to keep learning, because you'll get better and better at it. It gets easier and easier the more you work that muscle.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that I really admire about you, Christine, because we've known each other for a number of years now. I've come into the salon to get my hair done, to do spray tans. But we have these conversations, and the conversations we have, they do become personal conversations about our lives, right? And marriage and children, and it goes beyond just business. And what I've learned from that is, not just how you guide your business and your employees, but also how you guide and lead your family. And I really do respect that about you. And it's something that I aspire to find that balance where I'm doing work that I enjoy, where I'm constantly improving, and where I'm doing something for myself, independent of anyone else, and then making choices with integrity so that I can sleep at night. I can look myself in the mirror and feel good about myself, knowing that I did my best. And then Ahsaki, persevering. Your story is all about perseverance. Personal and, business related, personal and professional. It's perseverance, and I really admire that about you. It's something that I really look up to. It's something that motivates me. And when we talk, we also talk about spirituality and the importance of that element. And to be able to talk to another woman who understands that and thinks at that level and protects herself at that level is amazing. It's like, for me, it's like you need that reminder sometimes. You need to have your arrowheads, around you. You need to have that protection. You need to have that prayer. And that's what gets you through the hard times, because you're right, it's not easy and it never gets easier. The challenges keep coming, but also the rewards and the blessings, those come too. And I just wanted to say that before, everything. And then of course, Kelsey, I really do look up to you. Your skill set and your ability to work with community is a really big deal, because I know you do it despite the challenges that come your way and the frustrations. You're still there to also teach and be a really good example for others, and to have the courage to come on camera and to do Navajo Tea Time, and to do it. It's not just for us. It's not a selfish endeavor. It's like, how do we utilize this platform to reach an audience in a positive, meaningful way? That's what we set out to do. We never wanted to just turn on the camera and, have a popularity contest or show off, or things that other YouTubers do that they're distraction from real life in many ways. And we didn't want to be a distraction. We wanted to be, two people that are contributing to the narrative, who are contributing to visibility of Native people, to talk about things that people might not often hear us talk about. And of course now having conversations with women that are, intelligent conversations that I think other people, who are a part of our audience can listen to and learn from. So that's why I'm really thankful that you guys are here, and I'm really excited about this new chapter of Navajo Tea Time. And of course, very thankful that Kelsey asked me to be a part of it. You know, that's never going to go away. I'm really thankful for that. Even though she picks on me all the time about my soapbox.
That's sisterhood right there. And I'm just gonna add on to that. Watching each and all of us, grow into our most authentic self and become successful every day. And sisterhood is so important because, when I call you Adrian's sister, Kelsey's sister, you're not my sister, that's a responsibility. That's just not a term that you just use just because it sounds cool. Yes, it does. That's my sister. Yes, but, you protect your sister, you look out for your sister, you support your sister, and sometimes you're going to have these tough conversations with your sisters because you love your sister. So, I always say, look out for each other. Behind you, take care of each other. And right now, this epidemic of missing and burning dishes women, we have to be all eyes on deck, always looking out for each other. So now that I'm passing by, I'm like, okay, you good? Okay, I'm passing by. Okay, are you hungry? I'll kick it to you. But no, it's just sisterhood is so important because what we're doing is really pushing this narrative, this new chapter for our new young generations to come, that we get to demonstrate sisterhood in a positive light. And I just can't wait. I'm throwing that out to our awesome leaders out there, our sisters there, we're here and, definitely come here to get your hair done because you had to be a boss babe in council, you got to look right, you're representing all of us, and if you need camera service, you got Kelsey, you got Adrian over here to push the narrative, and then you got me out. I'll make sure you look glam and keep you caffeinated. But no, it's just, sisterhood is really big for me. And, I'm so blessed to have each and every one of you guys in my life and moving forward. I'm so happy that we finally met, and I'm just looking forward to the future. So, yeah, that's all I have to say.
That's great. Love it.
Yep, I love it.
Thank you. You've really inspired me too, though. You really have. I think it's so brave of you to actually get on camera because I can't do that.
You're doing it!
I know. I was a chatter.
You did so good. You did.
Great.
You did.
Well, this is the first one of many episodes.
Our podcast.
We're going into the podcast business.
Oh, that'd be so fun. And that's the I guess the biggest blessing for me is being able to help bless others. Because we only have this one life, and how do I make a difference? Like Nipsey Hussle said, find your purpose or you're wasting air. And that line right there, I'm just like, dang, no pressure, right? It's beautiful oxygen, I'm just sucking up for no reason. I need to find my purpose. But no, it stuck with me, and that's why I'm really big on purpose. So, I'm super excited.
Excited for you too. I love everything you do.
Oh my God, yes, I'm excited. Nerve-wracking, I'm a hot mess. I drink tons of coffee. But no, the future's bright. But I'm so excited for the future. That's what I'm so hopeful for because they are freaking amazing. They're so talented with technology, and they are starting their own little stuff on social media. So I'm like, do you, babies? Do you? I'll catch up. I'll try to do TikTok dance. No, I'm not.
We're not doing TikTok.
That sounds hard.
I'm so bored on TikTok.
Do you have a quote or someone you like to pull inspiration from to keep you going, or not?
Are you doing
You.
I like to listen to a lot of podcasts. I like to read a lot of books. I like to listen to audiobooks. I like to fill my time that way. I used to listen to music, but I listen to music here all day long. That I need to stop listening. So I'm not a music person. I wish I was. A lot of people, I'm inspired people who are musicians who can sing and all of that, but I like listening to audiobooks and stuff. So I like Greg Cardone. I like him. I even like Louise Hay. I like her a lot because she's very inspiring as far as keeping you center. I just like those types of things, keep me moving forward, keep me centered. Yeah. But I think it's really nice that all four of us got together. It wasn't what I expected, so it was different, and it's interesting that, it's nice for me specifically because I don't have a lot of Native American friends, and it's nice to be included in this community.
Oh, girl, yes, we got the bougie Native Club, girl. We're gonna Napa in the summer. Let's go. Before you go to Paris or back. I don't care. Go to Napa.
You're all look for us at Res.
We're trying to go to Red. So I'm not going. Maybe next year.
Maybe next year.
It's April.
I know. Like I'm already like in May, June like timeline. Like I'm already like Q3. Like it's insane. Yeah, I celebrate New Year's like in October.
Navajo. All right, well, I think that's good. A good amount of useful information. Thank you guys so much. Kelsey, do you have any last thoughts you'd like to share with the audience before we...
No, this was really nice having other people be able to talk with Adrian, and I'm just sitting here trying to keep an eye on the recording.
You did good.
You did good. You did your own talk show. Like,
That's what Navajo Tea Time is.
Like on a broadcast, like hey Oprah. Hey Oprah. Like yes.
We went to studio at the Navajo, film office.
I know, right?
If they ever answer their phone. But anyways.
We can go straight to Oprah. We'll just speak that into existence because this is going on the airwaves. Tracy Ella Ross. They're on Hulu and stuff. Like, hey. Because we need to have this discussion further.
Yeah, it's like really interesting to like talk to different Native people from different backgrounds. That's why I like bringing in to this show is like just the diversity of our own experiences, because when you hear outside views of Native people, they always change it to like one monolith of like what all of our experiences are.
Yeah.
And it's like you see people tell, oh, Natives, they're just drunk, or they have drunk parents, or like they're poor, or they grow up this way, or they grow up that way. But we're all different, and we all have different experiences. Like you grew up in Palm Springs,
Right?
Yeah.
And me, I kind of grew up in Cameron. You grew up in Window Rock and in Tuba. It's a different experience, different people. Like I have like divorced parents. Your parents were together. They're still together. So it's like it brings a different type of voice and different types of experiences. And the way, even if we have the same experience, we have different reactions to those experiences. And so those are just nice to highlight and show the diversity even within the same tribe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Gang.
And I know Adrian had like that social media post about diversity.
Oh yeah, I know, because I'm in this master's program for organizational leadership, and so right now we're looking strictly at diversity, and so I was posting on social media, like, how do you define diversity? And it was interesting, the feedback that I got. But,
I saw some people, they're all like colonizer. I'm like, what?
Colonization. I'm like, you're not wrong, but there's more to it than that. It is. And I think it's cool, like we as a people are very diverse, you know what I mean? And it's good that people see that and they see us like that, as, diverse, rich cultures, working together and what that combination looks like and what it can create, so. Yeah, it's cool to see that here, so. All right, so shall we end the episode?
Yeah. Sure.
All right, everyone, thanks. It's been Bye. Wait, do the clap.
She just smashed it into his face, yeah.
Not a very Navajo friendly. It's like a weird label you're putting on yourself.
They protect us, they guide us, And my father, he worked in law enforcement, so he was.
You witnessed police pulling over cars.
If you got to slap a senator, you slap a senator. Incorporating language and cultural aspects into. Who's your celebrity crush?
Pass.
It's at a point where you're just like, what am I doing?